Parents, my name's David Pitts. I'm the language acquisition specialist here at Prairie Trail, and I wanted to share with you a resource that you have access to at home that we've been using at school for dual language students. The resource is called Amira, and what Amira is an online artificial intelligence bilingual reading tutor. So that sounds really fancy. Basically, what it is an online reading program, and we're piloting this year in dual language for the district, so it's a new program. And so far, what we've seen has been, I think, very good. I've been in education for 16 years. There's always programs and the latest and greatest things that are being sold to schools, but I would say this one is by far the most robust that I've seen as far as what goes on behind the scenes with the program. It is basically a program that is designed to improve students what's called reading fluency and accuracy. So making sure they're reading words correctly and then fluently, so trying to get their correct words per minute rate progressing. The idea obviously is that the more fluent of a reader you are, the better you're going to comprehend, because you're not having to do as much cognitive work to decode words. You're just reading more fluently. So that is really the goal of Amira, is to develop that reading fluency and that reading accuracy. And it adapts to each student's individual level, and it does it in both English and Spanish. So dual language students have access to both the English and the Spanish version. So maybe your student might be reading higher in English than they are in Spanish, or higher in Spanish than they are in English. Amira will adjust each of those reading levels for the student as it's going. It also will do interventions with students. So if they're reading and they get stuck on a word, Amira will stop and give them a little intervention, teach them how to read the word, and then continue on. And if the student's having too much difficulty, it'll lower the reading level. If they're having a lot of success and it's easy, it will raise the complexity of the text. So that's a little bit about Amira. And so how do you access this at home? If your student brings home their iPad from school, they simply just can log on their iPad. Most of them know how to do this. They go to ClassLink. Once they log in through ClassLink, they go to the HMH app. Looks like a little smiley face. And then once they click HMH, they'll see an option for Amira, and this is what Amira looks like. They click on Amira, and it will open the program. They have to get permission to use the microphone because the student has to read out loud, which means they'll need somewhat of a quiet place to read in order for Amira to be able to hear clearly the student's reading. If you do not have, your students are younger and they're not bringing home their iPad, if you have a phone, if you have an iPad, a tablet, a computer, as long as it has a functioning microphone, connected to the internet, there's a link here that you can click. It will take you to the L-Hub. Mine's going to log in, so I'll log out so that you can see what it looks like. Let me log out. So your name and their password. Many of the students know their username and password. If they don't know it, pretty sure it's the same as their iStation username and password if you have that little card. If you still don't know that, you can send me an email. There should be a link with my email address in the newsletter, and I can find it and just email you the information. So once you put in your username and password to the Learning Hub, it'll open up, and you're going to look for that HMH app. Here it is. Has the smiley face. You'll click on that, and after you click on that, you will then see Amira, and you can click on Amira and give it permission to use the microphone, and then Amira will take over. The student can choose to read in English or Spanish, choose the book they want to read, and off they go. The Amira recommends that students spend 30 to 60 minutes a week reading on the app. So, depending on each individual student, they can break it up into 3 10-minute sessions, 2 15-minute sessions, whatever works best for the student. Just make sure that when they're doing it, they're focused and on task. The stories are not very long, so it shouldn't take very long at all to read one story. In order for the Amira to track the story and for the teacher to be able to see that the student has read the story, they need to complete the entire story. And sometimes there's some questions that they have to answer at the end. Once they do that, it will log the information, log the reading into the system, and then we'll be able to see it. And also keep track of how much they're reading. So that would be helpful on our end. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. This is not a requirement. This is a resource that we are using this year. We're hopeful that we're going to see lots of positive information from it. I think we're already seeing some. We're seeing some difference that it's making with students who are using it at school. There's a lot of the students are using it at school, but it's something extra that they could do at home as well if you're looking for a reading resource for your students. Again, let me know if you have any questions, and hope y'all are doing well, and take care.